Okay, students, you're taking the lesson on earthquakes in the Moodle lesson for geoscience, and toward the end, I'm now asking you to go to this virtual lab interactive website that on earthquakes that has you find an epicenter of an earthquake that occurred in 1994 in Southern California. This virtual lab is easy. There's only 5 steps to it. Your instructions are to go to this page and follow the instructions on each page and you'll be fine. But I'm going to go through this virtual lab with you on this video. So on the first page, which you see in front of you, read the instructions, but it's simply looking at the photos of earthquakes throughout California. I'm going to go to the next step, step 2. And these are 3 locations in the United States: Boise, Idaho; Denver, Colorado; Albuquerque, New Mexico, that were used as seismic stations that measured the epicenter for an earthquake near San Francisco. The earthquake was the Loma Prieta earthquake. And follow the instructions on this page. Okay, but I'll just let you know, when you click on one of the cities, click twice, it shows you when the P wave came through that city or that station, when the S wave came through, and the difference in the time was used to determine how far away the epicenter was. So that's 1,035 kilometers. I'm going to close this now and click here on Boise on this button, and you see the circle that represents 1,035 kilometers, but because it's one station, it doesn't know what direction it's in. It needs 2 more stations to find out exactly where the epicenter was. So I'm going to let you read the instructions on this page and record the distances of the epicenter of this earthquake from Denver and Albuquerque and from Boise, because when you go back to your Moodle lesson, I'm going to ask you questions on this lab, obviously. Okay, so read those directions. I'm going to go now to step 3. Here's a situation where there was an earthquake in 1994 in Southern California. I won't give you the name of the earthquake. I want you to find the name of the earthquake inside this lab. We are going to see a video on this earthquake next week, and I want you to find the epicenter of this earthquake. It's somewhere near Los Angeles, either to the east or the west or the north or to the south east. And I want you to find this epicenter. You need 3 seismic stations, so you have 3, one here in Los Angeles, one here in Lancaster, one here in Victorville. Okay, now how far away was the epicenter from Lancaster? Well, click on it and find out. How far away was it from Los Angeles? Click on it and find out. Write it down. Write down the distances of the epicenter of this earthquake from these 3 stations, because you're on page 3 and you're going to need that information on page 4. Okay? All right, I'm going to do Victorville for you. I'm going to double click on it. And here comes the information that I need to find the epicenter for this earthquake, at least for the station at Victorville. Okay, this reads about 130. I want you to call that 130 kilometers. It's really, this line's a little off. You see the P wave came, a little later the S wave came. They calculated how far away the epicenter was from this time interval between the 2 waves. And I think this line's a little off. It should be 130 kilometers. So that's what I want you to use for Victorville, and that's actually why I chose Victorville. So we know Victorville, the epicenter was 130 kilometers from Victorville. Well, what is it from Lancaster and what is it from Los Angeles? Find that out, and you're going to draw 3 circles to find the epicenter. That's what we're going to do on the next page, which I am going to right now. Here's page 4, or part 4. Okay, now follow along. You got these 3 seismic stations. You know from the last page how far away the epicenter is from each. Now we got to draw some circles. So I'm going to draw the circle around Victorville for you. So I'm going to grab this page and move it over. And it's really cool. It's a Flash website. First thing you do is hit the resize button. Okay, now I've chosen resize. Now I'm going to choose one of these circles. I'm going to click on it, the red one. Now look, the red circle went over here to this line that will allow me to resize it to 130 kilometers for Victorville. Well, there's 120 and there's 140, so 130 must be in the middle. So that's about 130. Okay, now I've got the circle at the right size to represent how far away the epicenter of the earthquake was from Victorville. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on the drag circle. Now I can grab this circle from anywhere. I'm going to grab it right here by the line. and move my mouse over Victorville, and that puts the circle right around Victorville. Okay, so I'm going to let go of that. And so now I know where the epicenter is around, according to how far away it is from Victorville, by looking at the circle. I just don't know what direction. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and hit resize. Well, I'm going to let you do this. Hit the other circle, resize it for Lancaster, hit drag, put it over Lancaster, then come back here, hit resize, hit the blue circle, resize it for Los Angeles. The information you need to size these circles is from the last step, step 3, where you got the epicenter distances from these 3 seismic stations. Okay, so you want these 3 circles to intersect at one point, and I want you to tell me if it's to the north, south, east, or west of Los Angeles. And then I want you to go on to step 5, read a little bit more about the earthquake, find out which one it is. It has a name. Come back to Moodle, come back to this lesson on earthquakes and answer some questions regarding this lab. Okay? See you in class.